I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today
channel.
we're watching Vinland Saga, Season 1, Episode 3. I have to say, one of my favorite things, just out of the first 2 episodes so far, has been the score. It's the one thing that I'm, like, focusing on, like, again and again, that I find myself being astounded by the music in this show so far.
I totally agree. It creates this, like, more immersion and this tone that also has me really nervous. The whole tone of everything from foreshadowing to everything that's happening has me feeling incredibly unsettled.
Yeah. Apologies if any of our pronunciations of things and names are wrong. We'll try our best to learn. But Flokies, his heel turn at the end of last episode in terms of trying to pay Askeladd to kill our boy. Thors.
Not Ari, Thors.
Yeah. Ari he's just not going to die. He's not going to do it. He was given his family, his great-grandfather's precious artifacts, relics, historical. He has lineage to withhold.
And his father looked so proud. And his father is going to look so sad.
No. I don't really know what to expect this episode. Like, I think that my default feeling would be, okay, we're going to see the conflict between Askeladd and Thor since he was just about to leave, you know, with Leif. And that's where my mind would initially go. But I didn't really expect episode 1 to episode 2's different, like, tone shift. So I don't know where we go from here.
I like the idea that we're going to be seeing this conflict, but I'm just wondering if that is the case, how would this episode start? Would it start with a messenger coming back and then telling the story, and then through telling the story, I'm saying messenger and storyteller being Leif specifically is who I think would be a survivor from this conflict, coming back and telling them the story, and as he tells them this, we get to see what it was like?
Yeah.
Or is it going to mirror the first episode, where we start out with the action and the conflict, and then, from the past, and then we get, like, a current day situation?
Yeah. I'm more than anything, I think, most excited to see what Thorfinn's character is going to be like. Because we got a bit of his personality last episode, but he's only 6 years old.
That personality can morph and change and also get real strong in the current traits that he's displaying.
How are the words that his father told him going to affect him, if at all? Is he going to be able to see the side of things his dad was talking about? Because the culture around where they are right now, his father's, like, his disposition and ideals don't really mesh and fit in with the rest of the village's idea of war and how they look forward to it and are excited by it and that potential to maybe get to Valhalla.
Is he still going to view all of this last father-son, really important, really heartfelt speech? Is he going to still view that all as lies?
I don't know. It's interesting because on one hand, like, he was being that character, viewing that as lies, right? But earlier in the episode, he said something, I believe it was Thorfinn, of he wonders if his mother and sister will be able to go to Valhalla. And I think that that's pretty deep, intricate thinking for somebody of his age already, because that's questioning, like, okay, like, realizing that they aren't warriors in that sense, but wanting them to still be able to get to celebrate a life full of joy and wonders after death.
He definitely had a lot of questions, either himself posing these questions or being posed to him, that were real big thinkers, like, who is the enemy? Will my mother and sister be able to go to Valhalla?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff for a 6-year-old to think about.
Yeah. Will we ever get to Vinland?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe. You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Troll. The Troll of John.
But why aren't you enacting that law?
Damn.
Yeah, why are we not doing that?
Good question.
So we don't get to know?
Now I'm more curious than ever.
A nimble one. This is very emotionally driven on his end.
Dang. Bjorn? Oh, shit!
Why was that guy there?
So at first I thought that, like, the spear was thrown because Bjorn was, like, interpreting the situation well enough to know that Floki was about to cross the table, but it wasn't trying to cross the table. It was imposing that threat with another person behind it.
Oh, that maybe he could sense was there. That if you're trying to intimidate someone.
I mean, the sense of dialogue was like, oh yeah, you have to give me 5 extra pounds of gold preemptively, right?
Yeah.
Before
so
anything happened.
Like, intimidation.
Yeah.
That was being attempted there.
I know this is kind of...
Whoa.
What?
Why is he on his ship? Why is he on his ship?
I mean, after Thor's is dealt with, where to next, right?
But why would you go to the ship of the person that killed your dad?
I don't know. Kind of weird to say, I think, but I'm kind of more scared of Bjorn than I am Askeladd.
I mean, that was like right in that guy's heart.
Even before I knew that there was a guy there, I was like, oh my god, that, like, intelligence, perceptiveness. Yes!
I get what he's doing here. But be my wife when I get back.
What a noble man.
You're ruining his, like, he's putting the moves on.
No, this helps. He's close with his mother. That's sweet.
Yeah. Family man. Is she the only young lady there? Is she really like the only eligible bachelorette?
Seems to be the best bachelorette.
The best one.
Five is enough. Do you think Thor's knows? Oh. That's smart. Thorfinn, say goodbye.
Specially made.
Oh.
Oh, stop!
The right side
Really?
still won't be enough.
川がベロベロだ。しっかりしろ。あれ、舵を取れ。ハーコンとグリムは大工作だ。疲れたか？
なんの。
もう当分は漕がなくていい。だからあとは勝手に進むよ。
これってもう引き返せないってこと？父上。
まあそうだな。父上。
How did
I feel so stupid.
しかしきな臭いなこの山。どうも隠し事が多すぎる。絶対な嘘だな。ほぼ確実に
Huh.
暗殺さ。支援かなんか知らんが
殺して金もらうことに変わりはねえだ。
自分の部下を使わないのはなぜだと思う？を恐れているんだとしたら、人に言い訳が聞かねえほどの。
Holy shit.
戦士団一個正代がか。バカ。こら。
I kind of like them now.
少しは楽しめる男だと嬉しいね。
Did you say you kind of like them?
I don't know, yeah, in a way.
I feel like they might kill Thor's and then raise his son. Which I don't know if I like that.
一体どっちに向かってんだ。
風が少し変わった。ちょい右だ。どうする？ついてきてくれ。
すげえな。レイフさんはどうしてこんな海いるんだ？
He's amazing.
あれ。あまり夜の海を見つめるな。引きずり込まれるぞ。
Mermaids.
戦場ってどんなところなんすか？手柄話聞かせてくださいよ。大将首取って男になりてんだ。
確かにうちの娘は強い男が大変だな。お前も。
まあ、
が好きか、あれ。
いやー、好みっすね。
の軍団にいた頃に生まれた子でな。の初めての子なんだ。
He's like, what do I do with this thing?
みんなこん。次は男を産め。ヘルガ、狩猟はおの子をお望みだ。
The leader wants a boy.
軍団の狩猟の娘なんだ。
Daughter of the leader of the army.
乱山の後で。
名前をつけてあげて。
俺は忙しい。これからノルウェー遠征だ。
トールズ。この子に名前を。
15年一緒にいるが起こったのはその時だけだ。ユルバという名は俺の母の名。とっさに浮かんだ。あの時からだ。戦場が怖くなっちまった。たちは俺を罵るだろうな。
おい、ベローが見えたぞ。
A lot of people go looking at islands off the coast of Iceland to try to find birds that might not be extinct, who are thought to be.
ここはフェロー諸島、ノルウェーの真ん中だ。すると旅が楽になる。に村があるんだ。商売もできるぜ。
イングランドまでついてくるつもりか？
ほら、頑張れ。
ケツいて。
Uh-oh.
おかしい。
何がだ？
だが前に来た時とは何かが。
It's a great place for an ambush.
家の数だ。家の数が減っている。
良くない気配がする。地形も悪い。逆走してるぞ。
気づいたか。
怖いかもしれねえぞ。近すぎるが仕方ない。傷ついても構わん。やれ。
Uh-oh.
Like a dam blocking the exit. Stallone chair. Nice touch.
入り江の出口が。
ジョー、奴ら袋のネズミだ。無事か？
はい。
なんとか。
盾で頭を隠せ。レイフさん。
大丈夫だ。船も人もなんともない。
来るぞ。入り江の奥だ。
奥。
Ah, they broke down the houses there.
降参すれば助かるんじゃないか。奴隷市場で売られるだけだ。どうってことね。
妖精あれ。 夏場の出稼ぎでやってる海賊とはわけが違う。俺の叶う相手じゃない。
トールズさん。
トルフィン。時だけだぞ。
やるんすね。やるぞ。
簡単にやるなんて言うな。
うわ、そのキノコ。
Looked poisonous.
ふう、12とガキが1匹。おい、アシュロット、俺に任せてくんねえか。あれ
Is that a hallucinogenic mushroom?
面白くねえ。業務のトロルってのがの木みたいだしね。あ
Oh shit. Oh.
やるぜこいつ。
Not even using his void.
Not killing any of them.
やるね。ホームのトロル。
No! Okay, that was Vinland Saga, Season 1, Episode 3. This is the quickest into a series I've been so upset at a cliffhanger.
Cliffhangers are the worst and best thing ever. They are the best worst thing ever. They're so bittersweet because they're so entertaining and they so make you want to just immediately dive into the next episode, but they're also incredibly frustrating.
Okay, right off the bat, the first thing I want to do is go back to the beginning of the episode and watch the interaction between Floki and Askeladd, because Bjorn's like spear usage was crazy to me here. This was like right away. I'm like, okay, it's not just Askeladd that we need to worry about here. During the interaction, when Askeladd's like, all right, 5 extra pounds of gold, paid in advance, then I'll accept your job. And it's like immediately Bjorn could like feel the malice.
Yeah, it's maybe that's it. Like feeling the malice, feeling when the air gets tense.
Yeah. And he's the only one too. You think you have the upper hand on me? You must be confident in yourself. It's like, in my mind, it's these two people who are powerful enough to stand on the same ground at the same table. But right after that first word was uttered at the mention of like that counteroffer, it, in my mind, Floki's other man took like a step behind that curtain. And the second somebody else encroached on that territory between the two people on equal footing, Bjorn like turned around and caught it.
Had to show that like you're entering this space where these two people have equal footing, and I'm showing you that Askeladd's not alone.
Yeah. And like the way that oh my god, Floki's eyes like widened. That's what made me think he was about to lunge, and then the spear was there to like stop him from lunging forward for like an attack. But god, did they fake me out with that, because it being a person behind there makes it so much better.
And it makes a lot of sense when you see how much the kind of fabric bends in.
Yeah.
Like, would it really look like that if it had gone into a solid wall? I don't think so. So that's a nice touch.
So fucking... I hate how badass it is, because these are like our opponents. These are like the villains or antagonists currently.
But then I also feel like they might not be.
Well, okay, in terms of what, right? Because it's already, the show is like showing the different, like it's not just black or white, right? These are people who have chosen a way of life that they're like sellswords to a certain extent. They're willing to do anything for gold. So they aren't the people who are making the decision to kill Thors necessarily. They're being hired to and just accepting a job like another job. Yep.
Assassination. For personal grudge, they're guessing, which we wondered about as one of the possible theories of motive for Floki's acting last episode.
But here's the thing, though, like it's become so like the motive of wanting to kill Thors has become so like concentrated to me now, because it's not just like, oh yeah, he abandoned war, right? What happened, like, if anything, that to Floki directly at the cost of Thor's abandoning there? Did he lose somebody? Did comrades die and he's blaming Thor's completely for it? Like they already had a bounty for his head right when that abandoning occurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just love the thought that their army was so sure that nobody could kill Thor, that immediately upon his disappearance and Thor's attempt at making it look like he died, they were like, bullshit. Thor couldn't die like that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even find a body. Set a bounty for his head for
But they never
deserting.
enacted that bounty. They never went looking for him because the loss was too great.
Yeah.
It's like they were like, yeah, it'd be cool if he died, and for principle, we're gonna declare that there's a bounty on his head, but we'd never, like, risk that many men being lost.
Well, the idea of... Okay, because it's not stated in fact, it's... I will get better with the names, hopefully. It's Askeladd's opinion that the reason Floki didn't do it himself is because of the fear of that much of a loss for nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he went back to his leader and was like, yeah, I held up a grudge and killed this person who technically has a warrant or like a bounty on their head, but at the cost of 2 ships worth of people, that's not a good look.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much.
Because it also doesn't make you look strong as a warrior.
Yeah.
If you come back from that alive and you've had that major of a loss as the one in charge of those fleets and those warships, that just makes you look like weak.
Yeah. That
you weren't able to defeat this man and protect all of the other warriors that were standing at your side that you were in command of.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying, though, like I like how you're a little reluctant to even call them just like bad or like antagonists fully, right? And I love that that's the case, because it's like the different shades of morality are already showing 3 episodes in.
I think what turned my feelings about them from going to this really like, ugh, these guys are really gross and evil with the whole Christian monk scene. Yes, I thought it was really badass of Bjorn.
Yeah.
Bjorn. For that spear trick. Yeah, sure. I was impressed by that. I was like, wow, they're intimidating, they're interesting and powerful in their own right. But what got me feeling a little bit differently and like warm up to them a little bit as like these guys are going to be entertaining in the future of the show.
Yeah.
And I might possibly really like them is that kind of brothership that the 2 men had as they started, walking beside each other. And then their way of talking about trying to figure out what the motives of Floki were and the personal grudges. Oh, well, we get money for it. And then also the facial expressions that they're making by this, they're entertained by how strong Thor's is. They're interested in how strong Thor's is. They're interested in this fact that, like, is it dangerous to even be going up against him? They're, like, the thrill of adventure kind of people, it seems, but also the thrill of, like, monetary, like, money and financial gain. So I'm really intrigued by them more after I'm getting more kind of glimpses at, like, their personalities.
Yeah. I wonder, because we don't know anything really about their personalities other than a very minimal interaction they had, but I wonder what would propel, like, how this is going to go down, right? So in my mind right now, I'm thinking that I still have the feeling that unfortunately Thor's might die. If he dies, how, right? My best guess is that he is going to unfortunately suffer at the hands of not killing the people that he just knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine he will get into a battle with Bjorn and or Askeladd, and during that, he will probably be like stabbed in the back or something by one of those men on the boat. Mm-hmm. Regardless, though, what happens at that point? If Thor's does die here, what happens and what does he say? What's the conversation then between Thor's and Askeladd? Does Askeladd tell him who sentenced his death, basically? Mm-hmm. Who paid them directly, right?
And what happens with the cargo and the other people?
Thorfinn, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we get this idea that these are pirates. They have only been paid for the killing of Thors.
Mm-hmm.
And they were told, I don't care what happens to the rest of the stuff. So what would they do with this stuff?
Would they choose to do, like, let's be real, if their goal's money, they could take them and sell them as slaves. But can Thor offer anything to them or say anything to them that would change that route? Or is Askeladd just like, okay, I got the job done, and I'm not the kind of person to, like, sell a kid into slavery. Like
Right.
We don't know enough about it.
So I feel like this is going to answer a lot of questions about what type of men these are. Are they just hired assassin, mercenary types that get paid for these jobs and assassinations and things like that, but they don't actually want to kill unless they're, like, paid for it?
Yeah.
Like, why would I exert the effort unless I'm getting paid for it?
Yeah.
Or have losses on their own end unless they're paid for it?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. We get this idea, obviously, from the first episode. There's at least one person that doesn't agree with the slave trade, which is Thor's. Would they actually do that? We get Ari saying in this episode, like, oh, what if they do that? So what if that is foreshadowing for us that wouldn't even be something that Askeladd would feel like doing?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I have no clue what it would be. What
maybe
the answer will
Askeladd
be.
really fucking hates, what's his name? Halfdan. You know? Maybe they have, like, I don't know.
Seems like they like freedom a lot. These pirates, they appreciate freedom. So maybe they appreciate everyone having the ability of freedom.
I don't know if they more appreciate freedom or just like they're just living their own lives and they'll do whatever it takes for money, and their morals are questionable and they don't think too much about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the interactions between Yelva and the entire village from ages like 14 to 18?
I thought that was hilarious. I mean, I thought it was enough at first. I was like, oh, okay, cute. Ari is interested in Ylva. He's gonna die.
Yeah.
His mom is embarrassing him. This was his attempt at his declaration of I'm gonna come back and marry you. And his mom thwarts it. I'm like, already comedic, already just a great little add-in. But then to like go the next step and have other guys that are leaving confessing too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the funniest thing ever.
And then like Ari's like soulmate ended up running like out the dock.
Be careful.
Yeah, wishing him well, and Ari was like, "Who are you?"
It's so sad. But what it parallels is the indifference that Thor's seems to have towards Helga at the beginning of their relationship.
Yeah.
He seemed to be nonchalant, indifferent, like the only reason we're making babies and having babies is because the leader said he wanted a boy.
So I have some questions. I don't know if that's the only reason in my mind. Like, I imagine that they had like a romance and a reason for being together other than that.
You think?
I think so.
I feel like the leader married his daughter off to the top warrior.
That could also be the case. But they also like seemingly have a deeper connection, whether that was formed after the birth or before. Like,
I feel like this moment in time seems to be so pivotal for him that it's seemingly right after this is when he chooses to run away. Because after this interaction with her, he's on the battlefield and he views her with that baby in her arms.
Yeah, he did say
and that's when he chooses to run away. And this is the memory he's choosing to share with Ari in this moment.
Sure, he did say, like a matter of fact, that the second that he named his daughter was the second that he lost interest in war,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we don't know yet any backstory between them getting together in the first place. Also, question, is the leader of the army still the currently the leader of the army back then? Is Sigvaldi the mother of Helga?
The father of?
Father of, yeah.
I would be shocked and surprised if her father was still in charge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just because of how time's passed?
How time's passed, the major losses of war. If someone failed in a battle, then they would definitely be demoted and someone would be promoted in their place.
But he's the leader. Also, like...
Yeah, but if a leader fails, then the king's probably going to replace them.
I wonder how the leader would feel about his daughter and his, like, one of his, like, most important warriors running off and, like, basically abandoning him, too, you know? Like, like, my daughter's missing now. She's declared dead, too, or, like,
that is,
you know?
That's an interesting thought, that not only did Thor's run away, but she ran away with him.
Yeah, the leader. The leader's daughter, you know? So I wonder if that has any, I wonder if that
Could
resulted
affect...
in further pain for people in the army like Floki. Him leaving, Thor's leaving wasn't just Thor's leaving. It had repercussions, and it was also Helga leaving, right?
It could have affected why no one chased after him to enact punishment, because the leader could have had some softness to him about the fact that this was his daughter's husband and he has a grandchild. So there could have been, no, it's not worth it to go after him, but with some personal reasons tied to it. So some sympathy, empathy, compassion. I
wonder why the leader wanted a boy. Was it just another man for the army, or was it something of importance? Like, any type of, yes, I want to train you up so that you can one day take over, like, my position as leader. Therefore, I can see a bridge potentially to how this could be very beneficial to Askeladd. Like, if Askeladd learns that Thorfinn is not only just a boy on the ship, but the grandson of the current or past leader of an army that he might be able to get some money for, right? It wouldn't just be selling off another kid into slavery. It's like, it could be potential, like, royalty or like an heir, you know?
Or just the idea that because of his namesake, because his name is Thorfinn and he has his father's name within his own, that in itself is a sign to them that this boy is going to grow up an asset in battle and really strong. And wouldn't you want to, if you defeated a really, really strong, you brought up, I'm possibly jokingly, like, what if they choose to raise Thorfinn as their own after they kill his dad? But that could possibly be it, that they could see that he is valuable to them because of how strong his father was and how I mean, the lore behind, legend behind his father's strength.
Yeah.
That they might be like, this boy might turn into something special.
Yeah.
Especially if he does something to them that piques their interest. I feel like their interest would have to be piqued by Thorfinn for them to decide to spare him or keep him or bring him with them.
Yeah.
And we get a line of not using the weapon only to protect yourself.
Self-defense.
So in his self-defense or his not listening to his father's words, because we know that he might not necessarily align with the message his father's trying to tell him in this episode and the last episode, that maybe in his actions of trying to avenge his father or trying to protect himself, he piques their interest.
Yeah, with his, like obviously last episode we were showed that he has pretty good, like, what do you call it? Capabilities.
He's seemingly resilient.
He has, gosh, what's the word? What's the word?
What is the word? I'm trying to figure out what you're going
Potential.
for. He has potential.
Yes, that's
like
what.
A prodigy.
That's what the dialogue was last episode, right? Not just by Thor, but from the shopkeep, right? He was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Your son's breaking arms of kids that are 4 years ahead of you. That's a lot of potential. If he's able to show off his potential to these people, then yeah, for sure, I could see it. Like, oh yeah, raise him on our ship. He'll be, like, you know, worth his weight in gold from just the fights that he'll be able to pursue."
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, I think that might be my, like, current theory.
Yeah.
Of how Thorfinn ends up with them.
Yeah. My last thing that I really have is talking about some small detail that you mentioned during the episode that that you were laughing a little bit at, and that was the chair falling.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I really appreciated that because in my opinion, that's just like a flex on attention to detail. Like Leaf saying that there used to be more houses here before, and then lumber's falling off to block the path of these ships, and then you see a chair from one of the houses that these people raided and destroyed to use as material here. I thought that was really cool.
Is this act of creating this dam with those houses and trapping them there a sign of the fact that they are pirates that don't maybe work within the laws of fighting?
I don't know.
That we possibly uphold from those lines we get when we meet Halfton, and how there needs to be assemblies or like proper declarations maybe of a fight beforehand, and that doing like shady tricks is not a good thing, and therefore they are pirates.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about the hilt of Ari's blade.
Yes,
like,
it's very decorated.
Well, yeah, but they brought our attention to it multiple times this episode too, which I'm like, okay, who's Ari's grandfather? Is Ari actually gonna die now? Because like I like jokingly was like, Ari's not gonna die, thinking he was gonna die, but now I'm not so sure.
I think that there's potential for Ari surviving this, not only for the fact that he is the one that's the most like being told the truths by Thors because he's maybe the most vocal.
Yeah.
But we have Ylva, you know, around as a character that he has obviously has a romantic interest in. And we have him up late at night talking to what he hopes is his future father-in-law. And we get this dialogue about the story of Helga and Ylva's birth. This idea of like how you feel about your wife and then your children being told to him, that maybe there is potential foreshadowing there that he would actually choose to run away if he had the chance in order to have that beautiful possible future with Ylva.
Yeah. Huh.
But she doesn't seem very interested in romance at the moment, so I don't know how long he'll have to wait for her.
Ylva's like a big question mark to me. I wonder what they're gonna end up doing with her character.
If they had trained her to fight, I think she could have been a badass.
Probably, but she seemingly likes sleeping a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sleeping's great. I understand that.
The one dude who's
It was
like,
all
butt
warmed
kept
up by
getting hurt,
Thorfinn's
too.
body first, and then
Yeah.
that's why she didn't want to get out of bed.
All right. You have anything else?
No.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.